solo?
No, so my buddy started this product originally, and then I hopped on board. And so now I live with him and one of his old roommates. So it won't be that long. The goal was to kind of be there for like 6 months or so, just for the meantime. But it's the cologne scented laundry detergent.
Whoa, dude. Dude, why does it feel like it feels way too like good? You know what I mean? Dude, you guys killed the packaging, the marketing, all that. Like it looks good, it sounds good, it feels good, it smells good. You know what I mean?
I mean, we spent a lot of time on it, and all the photos, the video stuff, everything was done in house too.
Even the way the cap unscrews, it's like whoa.
It's super satisfying.
It gives that like canteen vibe, like where you're holding like a metal canteen in the desert and you need water and you unscrew that metal top. Like this, it feels metal. Like it looks like it's metal, but it's not. It's plastic.
That was the goal, was to go for like either like an alcohol bottle or like something of that nature. That was kind of the goal. But we went through a bunch of different iterations and just tons of different stuff. The scent took a long time to pick. We went through like probably quite literally like hundreds, if not thousands, of different scents to find ones that were actually like that universally people liked. And so it was really cool process. I learned a lot. But yeah, we have the 2 scents for now, and then we're going to be having 2 more soon in probably like, I would say, the next few months. And so they're definitely similar scents. That one's kind of the more like refreshing scent. Ooh. And then that one's a little bit more of the like exotic one. So some people, it's actually really funny. So this is supposed to be the more masculine scent, but all the moms and the women love this one the most. It's actually really funny.
Because like they want a man in their life?
I have no idea. We really assumed for one that women wouldn't like this, and especially not that one. But like all the women love that one, and all the men seem to love that one.
Let me do it.
It's really funny.
How did you meet this guy?
This is actually a good story.
Okay. I mean, dude, I feel like I can ask you 200 questions.
Yeah, my life has been a little crazy lately, but it's actually a really interesting story. So I used to work at the coffee shop in the Creamery, Active. I don't know if you ever heard of it or knew about it. Do you know where the Creamery is, right? Like Night Creamery?
I mean, I've definitely walked past it, yeah.
Yeah, so I used to work at the coffee shop, and I was sitting there working, and there was these 2 guys that would come in and be like, hey, well, I would just chat with them, you know.
I like this one more.
You do like
that one? This one's good, dude. But this one's also gas as fuck, too.
No, they're definitely both good. I think I might like the sandalwood more.
Really?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, continue.
Oh, you're good. No, but so yeah, I was working at the coffee shop, and there was these 2 guys that would always come in, and I would just chat with them, and I got to find out that they didn't work for, but they worked with the owner of Do or Drink, and I had never even heard of Do or Drink at the time. And I was chatting with them, blah blah blah, and then one day they came in, and I was like, hey, like by the way, I'm a photographer. You should check out my stuff. And so I just kind of showed them my Instagram, and they're like, dude, like our buddy's launching a product tomorrow, and it's like the exact same look. Because my style for photography is like very black with a little bit of white and a little bit of orange. At least it was even more so at the time. And so like 10 minutes later, this kid comes running in, and he's like, are you Mark? He's all, you know, and I was like, yeah. And then he brought in the product, which originally it was dryer sheets. Yeah, so they were cologne scented dryer sheets. And so he was like, dude, I heard you're a photographer. Like, he didn't really want to ask, but he's like, we're launching like tomorrow. Like, is there any way I can get a photo? And luckily I had my camera set up with me. I had everything with me. Cause I think I had to do a shoot after or something. And I was like, yeah, just bring me the product, bring me all the props, everything. The coffee shop even had some lighting, ironically. And so took the photo, sent it over in like 30 minutes. Sent it over, he loved it. They dropped on TikTok with the dryer sheets, and they went viral. And they popped off. They did like 2,000 sales in like the first 2 weeks or something like that. And it popped off. And then from then on, I kind of just slowly started doing more and more work because he was like at the time he was super new and he had no idea what he was doing with a lot of stuff.
What's his name?
Trevor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he from Slow County? Or?
No, he's from Colorado.
Okay.
But then he moved over here for Cal Poly.
Okay.
And so
Cal Poly raises business kids.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so it was cool. It was an interesting kind of like funny way that happened just because it was so just random.
So you met him through the Do or Drink people, or you did not know the Do or Drink people?
I met some of the Do or Drink people originally at the coffee shop, and then when I showed them my photography, they were just like, "Oh, our buddy's dropping this product."
Did that all happen that same day?
Yes, but I had met the twins before that because they would come in for coffee. It was probably like the third time I met them. Because at that time I was doing the restaurant software stuff that I had told you about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was right when that turning point happened was when I met them and they introduced me to Trevor. And then he would hit me up and he actually went out of town like the next day and he dropped a video and it went viral. And so nobody was in town to pack the orders. And so he's like, shit, what do I do? And so he's like, well, I guess I'll call Mark. I had met him the one time. He was like, hey, it's kind of awkward, but is there any chance you can go to the office and pack like 300 orders? And so I had to go. I was driving around trying to find all these bubble mailers, couldn't find them. So I had to drive all the way to our now like buddy Jake's house. And I had to go all the way to, I think it's like an AG, grabbed a bunch of these bubble mailers, and then was like, literally woke up in the morning, and I was sitting there packing for like 3 to 4 hours straight as fast as I possibly could, because I was trying to get them out on time. Because if you don't get them out on time, that like flags it for being late. And so I was like full on like sweating, rushing, stressed out. I was like, I don't know. I had just met this guy, and I was like, I don't want to screw like all this stuff up. And so then from then on, I literally just slowly kept like working within the office, and then I started working at Mistura, if you've ever heard of that, and Mama's Meatball, and I was running their social media for a while, and then as I kept doing work with Trevor, Javi, the owner of Do or Drink, was like, oh, maybe there's something you can do over here, because I didn't really like doing, like I loved doing the stuff for the restaurant, but there was the ceiling was right here, like I just stood on my toes and I was going to hit my ceiling there. So I wanted to get out and go to something that had a more potential. Do or Drink, obviously, is a pretty big company, especially locally. And so I kind of just said, I literally just went to my boss at the restaurant and was like, hey, man, I really like you and I shouldn't leave this way, but this opportunity is too good for me. And so I literally just quit that day. The next day I flew out to Seattle and gave away a Tesla for Do or Drink. I mean, the lady ended up taking the cash, but she won a Tesla originally. She could pick between a Tesla or 25 grand. Yeah. And so my literally, like, I quit that job. The next day I literally got on a flight.
Did you know you were getting on a flight?
Yeah.
And you had to quit that second?
That's why I quit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't technically have to quit.
Did the lady understand?
Yeah, they understood.
I mean, because it's not like you were a server walking out on 6 full tables.
No,
you were like some dude in the fucking back scenes.
like recording stuff.
You didn't have to show up to work. Like, she didn't need a product anytime soon.
No, it wasn't like if I left, their business is like impacted.
Okay, yeah.
So I felt bad, and then it taught me a lot because I almost killed that relationship, and I really like them and I really respect them. They're some of my favorite people.
Why killed it?
Because I just left so abruptly, and then I just definitely didn't handle it as well as I should have, but that's how you learn. But now they're like good friends again. I go over there all the time, hang out. I go to the restaurant all the time because it's good. But
what's it called?
Mistura.
It's called Mistura?
Yeah, it's like definitely of the best, if not the best restaurants